Thank you very much for those two questions. On your first question on growing number of sites on the list and consequently the growing number of requests for assistance and funding for supporting the conservation of these sites. Obviously, I mean, the first call on ensuring the effective state of conservation of inscribed site is the responsibility of the country concerned, the responsibility of the state party which has proposed this site to be included on the World Heritage List, has the primary responsibility for ensuring effective management, effective resourcing. But we all know that many of these sites in the least developed countries and the developing world are lacking these resources and are lacking the management capacity to be able to effectively ensure the state of conservation of sites. And that is why the convention is all about an international partnership, a global partnership to support the conservation of sites which are considered the common heritage of humankind. The World Heritage System has a mechanism which is the World Heritage Fund, but the resources under that fund are very limited to be able to support the demand of all countries concerned. Then there are many other sources of financing that is available, sources that are available through private sector partnerships, funding that is available through bilateral sources, multilateral assistance programs, and also by countries which are seeking to support the building of capacity and enhancing management of specific sites and specific countries. So there are a variety of means by which countries can be supported in this effort. And we have to bring all the funding that is available to the table, funding that is available within the World Heritage System, funding that is available from all other extra budgetary sources. On your second question of deforestation, yes, deforestation is a problem with many of the forested World Heritage sites, but there are a range of threats that affect the World Heritage sites around the world. You have seen one of the documents that we presented at this session, which pertains to the whole range of dangers and threats facing the effective conservation of sites. Deforestation is one of them. The committee has addressed itself to all these threats and has appealed to the international community to support measures that would combat these threats, that would mitigate these threats. So we have to work in partnership with not only the country where this threat is acting, but with all other national and international partners to be able to deal with this threat. So in summary, to answer your question, yes, the committee is very much seized of this problem and is working with everybody concerned to ensure that the threats to World Heritage sites are mitigated to the extent possible.
I think Mr. Director did give a very good answer already, but I'd like to add my comment to this. I think now there are more and more I think property inscribed in the list. For example, now we see we came to 981 already. The number is increasing, so the need of preservation and restoration is also increasing. And we are facing the challenge that you see the Heritage Fund is not increasing parallelly. You see, so there is I think shortage of fund is natural. We are facing the shortage of fund, but preserving and restoring, you see, conserving is not only the issue of funding. You see, there are a lot of issues that UNESCO World Heritage Site, we have ECOMOC, we have ICROM, we have IUCN, that they try to provide more initiative, more ideas, see how to preserve. One thing that through the initiative of UNESCO, through the initiative of the World Heritage Committee, You see, we came to the success. This is not the money from UNESCO, not the money from the World Heritage Committee, but it is the initiative, you see, and the good idea, the measure, you see, initiated by UNESCO, by World Heritage Committee. I think all some country came successively to the success in the effort of preservation and restoration of the temple. I can provide the example. You see, very concrete example, like the issue of the temple of Angkor. You see, Angkor, since 1993, 1992, Angkor was registered as a World Heritage in the endangered list. You see, and 14 years after, Angkor was taken out from the list of endangered. You see. What is the model, the experience, the very positive, very good experience left behind by Angkor, you see. In 1993, from the succession of UNESCO, from the succession of the World Heritage Committee, we did organize, you see, what we call international conference in Tokyo. And after that, 10 years after, the second international conference in Paris, to mobilize countries, you see, to come together, to cooperate, to increase the international solidarity, you see, for the preservation and restoration of the temple. And we set up what we call the International Coordinating Committee. We call the ICC Angkor. And through the ICC, you see, every year we have 2 sessions of meeting, technical one and plenary one. We got there about 20 countries together now. 20 countries came together to work. About 27 international organizations came, you see, and we got the fund of about 250 million US dollar. 250 million US dollar is not very important for a big country, but for Cambodia is a very important fund. This is that we can, I think, restore about and preserve about 70 through 70 projects, you see, of preservation and restoration of the temple. So you can see this is a very good success story. This is not the money from UNESCO, this is not the money from the World Heritage Committee. But you see, we came together, we got initiative, we got the, I think, succession, you see, and we came to the success. So not only the money is considered, but experience, technology, know-how, knowledge. You see about 32, 33 working group in Angkor. You see, bringing all the high technology, all the modern technology, know-how, knowledge, you see, together, and we succeed in preserving, in restoring, in conserving Angkor like we are at the current state. Yes, I think these were my comments.
And I think just to echo some of the comments from the Director of the World Heritage Centre, Mr. Rao, personally I think we see a picture as IUCN and it's the International Union for Conservation of Nature of growing threats to World Heritage areas. So there's a challenge for the Convention to really see how to respond in a positive way. You mentioned deforestation, and there were a range of issues that were raised within the committee, and one of the important items was to not look at these only as a site-by-site basis, but also to look at some of the issues that are touching many sites and how to respond to them. So issues such as the growing pressures on a range of sites from resource extraction, particularly from mining and oil and gas pressures, would be one area where we're seeing growing threats. Another is the number of sites, notably in Africa, that are touched by serious issues of poaching of both rhinoceros and African elephant, fueled by an illegal trade. And the committee raised those issues. It also raised the issue of the impacts that conflict has on a number of World Heritage areas, particularly in terms of those natural sites listed in danger in the Democratic Republic of Congo and elsewhere. So it's a picture of growing threats and growing challenges that the committee comes together to try to respond to and try to articulate how this is not just a national issue but an international set of issues. And within the natural sites, as you noted, one site this year was added to the list of World Heritage in Danger, which is the site of East Rennell in the Solomon Islands, and that is a site that is threatened both by deforestation in the area, but also the threat of invasive species, including rats that are being introduced to the island through the arrival of ships associated with that trade. And invasive species, if you don't act quickly, can take hold. And this is an island that had the reputation for being substantially free of invasive species. So it's an area, it's a level of concern. And a real test for the convention will be how we're able to respond to that issue. By being added to the list in danger, it signifies international concern. It means that the committee will consider that site every year in its decisions until it reaches the condition to be removed from the danger list, having hopefully recovered. And both IUCN will be doing our part to engage with the Solomon Islands, but we hope more largely that the committee itself and the states that are signatories to this convention will follow up and provide that site with the support it needs. Thank you. Those were, I think, the two questions and some comments on them. Thank you for the question.
I have asked the question concerning the Jerusalem, because it is a sensitive one. But I like you to understand that the World Heritage Committee, you see, is the technical committee working on heritage. You see, so we avoid the involvement with the political issues. And we did try our best, you see, not to get involved in the political conflict. So we concentrate our effort, you see, in the what we call the preservation, restoration, conservation, you see, of the property, and by centrally cooperation between different states and the international solidarity. This is the aim of the World Heritage Committee. We know very well there is a political conflict, you see, between Israel and Palestine, and Palestine goes together with Jordan, something with different Arab countries. But we are not involving, you see, in the political conflict. We are speaking only about, you see, heritage. So what happened with the issue? Jerusalem, the old city of Jerusalem, you see, is 1 square kilometer, where there are a lot of monuments now. According to my information, more than 200 monuments. Yes. And the issue for the World Heritage Committee, you see, the city was inscribed as the property of the World Heritage, as property of humanity. So the concern of the committee is how to preserve, yes, how to preserve, how to conserve, how to restore, you see, the city. And according to my understanding, all the sides, even the Israel delegation told me that they are also like to preserve the property. They don't want the property to be taken out from the World Heritage list. You see, so we try to use the common idea of different parties, you see, for the preservation of the cultural property. And in my capacity as the chairman of the committee, I did try my best. I met with the delegation from Palestine and Jordan. I met with the delegation from Israel and also from United States, you see, trying to bring to closer, I think, the two positions. But finally, you see, we can say that they cannot concede. they cannot concede, but they recognize, you see, the utmost effort of the chairman. You see, in the speech, if you were in the room, you did hear, you see, they starting to speak by expressing the thanks to the chairman. You see, to the chairman. For what? You see, for making the effort, you see, to bring together the two positions. You see, but finally, both sides did not concede. Did not concede. Israel and the United States doesn't want to correct the draft of the decision. Palestine and Jordan doesn't want to drop the draft of the resolution, you see, and to accept the draft of the new decision, you see, that came from the chairman of the committee. So finally we have to go to vote. Because as the chairman of the committee, I cannot prevent the state member, the member of the committee to put forward the draft resolution. As a chairman, I have no right to stop that. You see, so I think Israel and United States delegation, they understand very well. We cannot say, take out your draft or resolution. As chairman, we have no right to say that. So the draft or the resolution was submitted to the secretariat, you see, and the secretariat cannot stop it, you see, have to forward to the committee for decision. And from my side as the chairman of the committee, you see, what I did yesterday, I issued statement. And what is the statement asking? The chairman's statement asked the implementation of the previous decision of the committee, previous session of the committee. So there is a continuation of the work of the committee. We request for the implementation of the decision already issued, I think, from the last session of the committee. So there is, I sum up what we have done yesterday.
The draft resolution was adopted by the committee, but as you know, the committee adopts its report of decisions on the last day of the session. So the decisions will be available to you only after that.
Thank you very much for your question. We've been overwhelmed with the interest coming from Japan in this particular nomination and inscription, and very joyful with the Japanese people and people throughout the world that know this very special place of Fujisan. So congratulations to all of you who love that place. We had looked very carefully at the files submitted by the State Party of Japan for this very important nomination, and had made our own judgment that perhaps this single place that you mentioned wasn't part of the proposed outstanding universal value for Fujisan. But we had a very robust discussion about this on the floor of the committee with the committee members, and many different points of view were expressed, including many that saw the situation differently and saw that it was important to include this place as part of the serial inscription of Fujisan, and we warmly congratulated Japan on this achievement. So I really don't have any further comment about that particular case. Well, thank you very much. It isn't, for me, the first time visiting Cambodia, and I was very excited to come here. Of course, we know a lot about Cambodia, we know a lot about this region of the world, and we know especially about Angkor. And we're personally very excited to go to Angkor for the first time later this week. Honestly, we have not yet had a chance to sample and enjoy much of your country. We've been very impressed with the extremely friendly hospitality we have received everywhere we've been here in Phnom Penh. We've enjoyed some of your restaurants very much, We have enjoyed the climate and the very easy social environment in which we've been able to do our very hard work. So we really thank all the local people for the very warm welcome and easy working conditions we've enjoyed here. And we look forward to finishing our work and actually getting a better chance to visit some of the important cultural, for me, cultural heritage of the local area of Phnom Penh and also to Angkor.
It's the first time in Cambodia for me too, and what I have the chance for my colleague to visit Angkor before to go to Phnom Penh, and it's a very, very impressive situation for me, because we feel that the heritage in a country like Cambodia is so important. It's really a key point, a landmark of the construction of this country. And I feel that very, very strongly. And also the organization of the international cooperation around Angkor, around all this extraordinary, outstanding heritage is something very, very impressive. And when we are in Cambodia, we feel this cooperation between international organization and the land of Cambodia. It's really impressive, and it's the opposite situation of this very difficult case we evocated a few minutes ago, where we have some conflict and lack of simplification of situation, human situation. In this case, you see the life by the heritage, and it's so impressive. And thanks for that to Cambodia.
Why, for what reason? In Cambodia, we used to say that there are, it seems that there are two Cambodia. One is the real Cambodia, and one is the Cambodia through the media. You see, and these two Cambodia are always very different, big different. Yeah, that's why we are very happy that we receive guests from all the continent. We receive guests, you see, inscription about 1,465 people, you see, from different sides of the world. This is very good for us, because we like the reality, you see, to be seen, to be heard. Yes. Because the gap between the two Cambodia through the media, the real Cambodia, will be narrow, you see, or will be no more, you see, after visiting Cambodia. And in Cambodia, I like also to stress on 2 points. We used to say that Cambodia can be, now can be considered as a global indifferent forum for 2 things. One is Cambodia came from the killing field to what we call peace and national reconciliation model. Why we are model? Because after the liberation of 1979, you see, we came from 100% poor to now less than 19% poor, considering the living of the people. And then I think we build up peace, political stability through the national reconciliation. While in comparison to a number of countries, they also try to get peace, to get political stability, but they are not yet completed. Like in Cambodia, we got peace, we got national reconciliation, and we succeeded to maintain peace and stability. And based on this ground of peace and stability, everything grows up. We have stability of macroeconomy, we have very quick growth of tourism. Very rare that the country get the growth of the number of tourists from 20 to 25%. In Angkor, we can listen to the people in Siem Reap. In Angkor, you see the increase in some month compared to the same month the previous year. Some month we get until 30% of increase if we consider the number of tourists. So cultural tourism is a very, I think, developed, is flourishing in Cambodia. Yes, the cultural tourism, because we have no high-tech tourism. We start to develop our eco-tourism, but not yet like cultural tourism. Yeah, I think this is one idea. Another idea, when we start to restore and to, I think, the preservation of Angkor through World Heritage Committee, through UNESCO, you see, we build up what we call ICC Angkor. ICC Angkor has been considered also as a model. As a model. You see, like I said, about 20 countries, around 20 countries come to work together. More than 25, 26, 27 international organizations came to cooperate. So there is really the international cooperation and the international solidarity. That is the philosophy of the World Heritage Committee. Byយើងនិយាយអំពីលទ្ធផលជាក់ស្ដែងគឺថ្ងៃនេះគឺយើងស្ថិតក្នុងស្ថានភាពមួយដែលយើងអាចធ្វើការបូកសរុបអំពីលទ្ធផលជាក់ស្ដែងបានហើយណាគឺយើងបានទទួលមកគិតនោះវាមាន30សំណើដើម្បីចុះឈ្មោះទៅក្នុងបញ្ជីបេតិកភណ្ឌពិភពលោកហើយការសម្រេចរបស់គណៈកម្មការបេតិកភណ្ឌពិភពលោកនៅដែលមានគ្រូខ្ញុំជាប្រធាននោះប៉ុន្តែជាការពិភាក្សាយកយោបល់ឯកភាពយោបល់ថា consensus មាននៅក្នុងគណៈកម្មការគឺមាន21ប្រទេសនៅសមាជិកអញ្ចឹងយើងគួយមើលប្រជុំឃើញណាគឺប្រធានយើងលើកបញ្ហាទេប៉ុន្តែសមាជិកមួយគេបញ្ចេញយោបល់របស់គេណាគេឯកភាពឬគេមិនឯកភាពឬអីហោះហើយអញ្ចឹងលទ្ធផលគឺយើងចុះឈ្មោះបាន19អញ្ចឹងឆ្នាំហ្នឹងគឺយើងចុះឈ្មោះបានមិនសូវច្រើនទេគឺប៉ុន្តែគម្រោងសំខាន់នៅ19គម្រោងហើយមានដូចហៅថាគម្រោងដូចជាការចុះឈ្មោះជាបេតិកភណ្ឌធម្មជាតិនោះ5ជាបេតិកភណ្ឌវប្បធម៌នោះ14នៅហើយមានគម្រោងរូបចម្រុះបានថាវប្បធម៌ផងធម្មជាតិផងគឺអត់មានទេមានតែធម្មជាតិ5ហើយនឹងវប្បធម៌14ហើយមានគម្រោងខ្លះគេគាត់ទៅជាការបន្ថែមពីគម្រោងចាស់មានជាគម្រោងទីចុះប្រាសាទមួយចឹងទៅឬក៏ទីក្រុងចាស់មួយចឹងទៅហើយឆ្នាំនេះគេសុំបន្ថែមព្រំវានៅខ្សែតព្រំវានៅគេហៅថា extension នោះអញ្ចឹង extension នោះមាន3 extension នេះគឺយើងក៏មានគម្រោងធ្វើនៅលើគម្រោងរបស់យើងដែរនេះឧទាហរណ៍យើងនឹងធ្វើ extension ថែមទៀតនៅបរិវេណនៃបេតិកភណ្ឌរបស់យើងដើម្បីទៅគ្រប់តំណប់ទៅលើគម្រោងសំខាន់មួយចំនួនថ្មីទៀតហើយនៅក្នុងមួយគម្រោង5ដែលគេប្រើពាក្យហៅថា deferral ណា defer បានគេសុំឲ្យយកគម្រោងទៅសិក្សាឡើងវិញនៅដើម្បីគេបញ្ចេញយោបល់ជាថ្មីឡើងវិញអាហ្នឹងគឺកម្រិតវិញធ្ងន់ហើយកម្រិតស្រាលមួយជាងហ្នឹងគេហៅថា referral មាន5អញ្ចឹងមាន deferral 3មាន referral 5 referral គឺថាគាត់តែគេសុំឲ្យពិចារណាថែមការអធិប្បាយលើនឹងថែមព័ត៌មានបន្ថែមទៀតលើនឹងវាស្រាលតែ deferral អញ្ចឹងមាន19ដែលចុះឈ្មោះមាន deferral ហ្នឹងបើនឹងតែកើតហ្នឹងគេហៅអញ្ចឹង deferral ទៀតវាចែកទៅគេ deferral ហ្នឹង3និង referral ហ្នឹង5ហើយការពង្រីកព្រំដែនហ្នឹង3អញ្ចឹងគម្រោងហ្នឹងលើកហ្នឹងគឺមានតំណងមួយជាលទ្ធផលចុងក្រោយលើបញ្ចូលទៀតហើយព្រោះកម្មវិធីបញ្ចូលនោះវាចប់ហើយយើងមានកម្មវិធីផ្សេងទៀតទេអញ្ចឹងគឺឆ្នាំនេះយើងសង្កេតឃើញថាមាននឹងគម្រោងជាបេតិកភណ្ឌធម្មជាតិហ្នឹងច្រើនហើយល្អណាស់មានល្អណាស់ទីហោមាន ភ្នំយើងរាប់ស្ដាប់ណាមានភ្នំនៅប្រទេសចិនគេហៅសិនជាងទៀនសាំងអានោះជាភ្នំធំណាស់ដែលគេថែរក្សាបានល្អណាស់ហើយមានការអបអរសាទររបស់សមាជិកទាំង21ហ្នឹងគឺអបអរសាទរក្នុងការចុះបញ្ជីភ្នំទៀនសាំងហ្នឹងនោះចូលជាប្រទេសរបស់គ្រប់លោកមានដល់ទៅ606,833ហិកតាមិនជិតធំណាស់ហើយភ្នំមួយទៀតដែលធំចឹងដែរគឺភ្នំនៅប្រទេសមេស៊ីកូអានោះនៅក្នុងនោះមានរៀបរាប់ជុំវិញមានព្រៃល្អចឹងបានគេឲ្យចូលជាប្រទេសរបស់គ្រប់លោកមានដល់ទៅ7,014,000នៅបាន71ហិកតា71ម៉ឺនហិកតាជាងណានៅគេចុះជាប្រទេសកពនោះ714,566ហិកតានឹងមានភ្នំមួយមានដីខ្សាច់វាលំហខ្សាច់ប៉ុន្តែល្អទីថាប្របានល្អមានសហគមន៍ប្រជាជាតិមានប្រជាជនជាសហគមន៍រួមនឹងដែរប៉ុន្តែគេមានគោលនយោបាយគេដោះស្រាយសំស្របគេអនុញ្ញាតឲ្យចូលដែរមានណាមីប៊ីប្រទេសណាមីប៊ីវានឹងឈ្មោះហៅថាណាមីបសាំស៊ីធំណាស់ណាមានដល់ទៅ3លានហិកតាជាងណាហើយមានតំបន់ទំនាប់ហ្នឹងជិត1លានទៀត889,500ហិកតាទៀតនោះធំណាស់គឺគម្រោងទាំងអស់នេះនៅក្នុងភ្នំនៅតាជីគីស្ថានក៏ធំដែរអានឹងគឺ2លាន5សែនហិកតាខ្ញុំយល់ថាការចុះភ្នំធំហ្នឹងហើយមានតាវេដីដ៏ធំមានប្រតិបត្តិជុំវិញហ្នឹងជាបេតិកភណ្ឌពិភពលោកហ្នឹងគឺមានប្រយោជន៍ធំបញ្ហាមួយទីមួយគឺថាគេថែរក្សាធម្មជាតិជាងហើយថែរក្សាជីវិតសត្វនិងជីវិតតាមជួយវានៅហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែជាផលប្រយោជន៍ធំហើយវានឹងមានផលប៉ះពាល់ធំណាស់មកដល់ការថែរក្សាបរិស្ថានព្រោះឥឡូវយើងដឹងហើយការប្រជុំភាគច្រើនណាគេនិយាយពីបរិស្ថានព្រោះបរិស្ថានវាកាន់តែខ្លាយទៅជាគ្រោះថ្នាក់អ្នកដូចប្រទេសកោះតូចនៅក្នុងមហាសមុទ្រប៉ាស៊ីហ្វិកហ្នឹងកាន់លិចទៅនៅគាត់ស្រីថាគាត់ចង់រំលឹកហើយអ្នកខ្លះថាហ្នឹងគ្រោះថ្នាក់ជាងប៉ាណាណូទៀតព្រោះប៉ាណាណូវាស្លាប់តែនៅកន្លែងទូក្នុងប្របានហ្នឹងទៅប៉ុន្តែបរិស្ថានហ្នឹងវាស្លាប់ជួយការគាត់របស់បាល់កោះហ្នឹងគាត់លិចទៅក្នុងទឹកទៅមានរហូតចោលកោះហ្នឹងមានទៅជួយកើតហ្នឹងបើលិចទៅក្នុងមុខឃើញទេភ្នំតកអរាយនេះជួយដីកាន់ច្រើនទឹកជំនន់កាន់ច្រើនមានការរាំងស្ងួតកាន់ច្រើនចឹងដែលធ្វើឲ្យរដ្ឋាភិបាលទាំងអស់ធ្វើឲ្យអ្នកដឹកនាំធំៗអស់គឺកាន់តែគិតកាន់តែបារម្ភអំពីការផ្លាស់ប្ដូរជាអាកាសហ្នឹងដែល climate change ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងការចុះឈ្មោះបញ្ជីភ្នំធំនៅវាខ្សាច់ធំជាបេតិកភណ្ឌគឺមានផលប៉ះពាល់ធំណាស់ទៅដល់ការថែរក្សាបរិស្ថាននិងទៅដល់ការទប់ស្កាត់ climate change ហ្នឹងហើយគឺសម្រាប់ឥទ្ធិពលអវិជ្ជមាននៃ climate change ហ្នឹងចឹងលទ្ធផលមួយធំមកសំខាន់ណាស់
នៅសំណួរទី2ឧត្តមដែលកត្តាកម្ពុជាបានទទួលបទពិសោធន៍មួយខ្លះពីប្រទេសជំចាស់ចាស់រៀបចំសម្បែងជុំដែលរក្សាបានសួរទៅឧត្តមផងដែរប
ទពិសោធន៍នោះវាមានច្រើនណាស់នៅតាំងពីរបៀបសិក្សាដូចមិញឯងគេទុំអនុម័តមិនទាន់ចប់ផងអំពីយុទ្ធសាស្ត្រសកលក្នុងការចុះឈ្មោះប្រាសាទនិងក្នុងការចុះឈ្មោះគម្រោងផ្សេងៗជាបេតិកភណ្ឌពិភពលោកទាំងគម្រោងវប្បធម៌ទាំងគម្រោងបេតិកភណ្ឌអានឹងបទពិសោធន៍យ៉ាងម៉េចគឺថាគេចង់ធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចឲ្យការចុះបញ្ជីមានតុល្យភាពរវាងបេតិកភណ្ឌធម្មជាតិនិងបេតិកភណ្ឌវប្បធម៌តុល្យភាពរវាងទ្វីបអឺរ៉ុបទ្វីបអាស៊ីនិងអាស៊ីប៉ាស៊ីហ្វិកនិងនៅខាងជមុពីអារ៉ាប់ឬនៅអាហ្វ្រិកជាដើមព្រោះកត់សម្គាល់គឺកន្លងមកអឺរ៉ុបច្រើនពេកនៅអាស៊ីតិចពេកអាហ្វ្រិកតិចពេកអញ្ចឹងឥឡូវគឺអានេះជាការបកពិសោធន៍មួយធំគឺកំពុងតែធ្វើយ៉ាងម៉េចឲ្យការចុះបញ្ជីហ្នឹងវាមានតុល្យភាពហើយកាន់តែមានវិញ្ញាភាពរលូនថែមទៀតជាងមុនហើយមានបទពិសោធន៍មួយទៀតបទពិសោធន៍គេលើកឡើងច្រើនអំពីការដែល ไปเกี่ยวกับความไม่จงจีหายจงจีจะไปเกี่ยวกับความถูกลงหายตรึงทางจำนี้เนี่ยทางอีโกโมกทาง IUCN นั่งเยอะลึกเมาส์เชื่อปัญหาทางประตูจากเตียนทายสาออกฉันคือจะอยู่ในวิจัยที่ที่จูนบอลทางถอยไกลไหลนี่ถอยไกลไหลนี่อย่างเงี้ยฉันดูข้อห้าไหลนี่หายอันนี้จะกระบอกไปสอบมือทำมาอยู่ได้ในบุญยืดก็ถอยเมียนไปเก่งความยิ่งแค่ในทายสารอย่างนั้นแต่ยิ่งทายสารมันล้อที่กิจการอารมณ์ยังได้từ ngày khởi với cái cha bà đông tập trung vào dùng thôngในรูปเป็นอย่างเช่นใดบัตรประชาชนที่ได้ที่ยกเล่าปีโตผมเรื่องสถาบันจุดนี้อย่างนั้นประเทศนุ่มเว้ยผมเรื่องจุดที่ก็ก็ยังบอกรูปอย่างนั้นยังเคยยังประเทศครับดักถึงโลหะได้ยุบเราไงคือmột chúng ta xong đọ mình cái xong đọ mìnhบัตรประชาชนมือทงทิพย์ยืนมาบักสลายปัญหาหลุมบากแต่จับเลยอะไรบักเสียจับทำยังไงมีใส่ข้าไปหาบ้าที่มือคือเป็นไปติดพร้อมรบบ้องประเทศปานามาที่ปานามาต้องไปหาไอ้ยืนจีละสังเกตการกระจายสังเกตการไปเช็คสลับตัวโยนนั้นไปหาทบมือไอ้คือองค์การกลุ่มนี้กี้เอาดังเจนดอกเจนปีจีไปติดพร้อมในวงทีมจากที่มันบ้านกับรูปตาอยากการกูการระบบการทำดีการถ่ายสายไปติดความขุ่นหลุมจงยืนจิตจักรยังบานบอกสายถึงรู้ว่ายืนบานจับตังกรมการนี้ฉันคือท้าเรามันเงียบเอาสั่งมองเราเพียกีนามมือตื้อนะคือกรมการนี้เยอะที่จับตังเอาเราไม่รู้บราจิตปุถินกรมการนี้ไม่บอกสายก็เอาก็สัญญานักทาขนมเยอะตัวใครทำมุกประมาณยังไปก็ถือกายถึงรู้ถึงไหมนั่นให้ยืนโกขณะองค์การก็ออกบาดเป็นแบบไรยังมันมาใส่ปัญหาที่ปัญหาอย่างไปติดกับความมืดได้พระปอบุษีอันสนาในตีกรมชาไม่ชุบเบอร์แก่ดังนั้นคือไปโชว์มุกนี้ครั้งนะปฏิมาจมูกจ้องทางเถยเราไปโจมปฏิมาจมูกที่ทางเอาไปโจเลยให้เชื่อว่าเส้นการโชว์มุกนี้หรือว่าอีโกโมกจมูกนั้นบุษีนั่งบุษีอีโกโมกก็ทำไปโจมบานด้วยนั่งบุษีท่าเถยแต่โจมบานจงสมัยยึดมาบอกใครปัญหาหนึ่งហើយในทีมพอยืนรอบจำนวนยืนไอ้ยืนชี้ยืนมันบอกชนะได้พวกกะบอกชนะยืนช่วยเอาอยู่บอกไฟแค่นี้ให้ยืนมันจังไม่บอกตามกีพิบอันตรายตีอย่างเงี้ยจังยืนสะละบองยืนไปโยที่โจเราเชื่อมสมัยเอาเป็นบอกชนะด้วยมันจักเตี้ยคือวิธีกับผมพายมันเลยแต่มีเสียเรากดที่ดักอาสาอีบางอินสิบเซนตอนใต้ทีมพอดกดพร้อมโยรีเฟอร์เราทำให้ทางช่างโขยจำเนียงเป็นติดตัวกอดดักบอสนอตตัวกอดบอกใจจันอับจอบอันนั้นบนอับชามเช่นเราอับโจกินเราเด็ดวิ่งของยังกระสอบเก็บบอกไอ้กอดดักเป็นรีเฟอร์เราจากนั้นชิบอกไปสอบมีทมที่ได้ยืมบ้านรูปจำไหนครั้งนี้อยู่ที่นั้นบอกสลายปัญหาโดยไปโชว์มุกในครั้งที่เอารุ่นวิ่งเรื่องไอ้มือเจี๊ยบให้กี่bên IsraelនិងPalestineហ្នឹងនៅរឿងទីក្រុងស៊ូហ្សេឡឹមហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងគេអត់ព្រមសម្រួលទាំងសងខាងប៉ុន្តែយើងក៏បានដោះស្រាយដោយវិធីមួយដែលវាមិនប៉ះពាល់គ្នាខ្លាំងទេអ្នកអត់មានមកជជែកយកក្រុមសារហ្នឹងមកជជែកខ្លួនគ្នាទេអាហ្នឹងមកជជែកហ្នឹងមួយថ្ងៃមិនចប់ផងនៅព្រោះPalestineក៏គាត់ប្រើពាក្យខ្លាំងពួក Israel ក៏ប្រើពាក្យខ្លាំងដែរអញ្ចឹងគឺបើបែរឲ្យគាត់ជជែកការប្រជុំមុខឲ្យនឹងភាពបន្ទុះសារាយហ្នឹងគឺថ្ងៃហ្នឹងខ្ញុំចប់ណាតែមិនស្រួលយើងបាននិយាយគ្នាអត់ទៅចែកទេនៅឈាមមកដល់ចូលមកជៀសវាងតែនឹងសម្រាប់ចិត្តរួចយើងរួចទៅមកចិត្តហ្នឹងអត់ដោះហើយអត់មានការជិះគ្នាខ្លាំងអញ្ចឹងសិលនេះយើងត្រូវសង្កេតឃើញចំណុចមួយដែលបងប្អូនអ្នកកសាយត្រូវសង្កេតឃើញអ៊ីស្រាអែលយើងឡើងនិយាយទៅអរគុណខ្ញុំអរគុណកម្ពុជាហើយចូលបាននេះក៏អរគុណកម្ពុជាប៉ាឡេស្ទីនក៏អរគុណកម្ពុជាអាហ្នឹងជាការបបពិសោធន៍យើងមានប្រដៅទៅក្នុងការដោះស្រាយការលំបាកប៉ុន្តែអត់មានភាពបន្ទុះស្រាយមួយយើងទេអត់មានបន្ទុះស្រាយមួយយើងបាទនេះជាចំណុចដែលជាការបបពិសោធន៍មួយច្រើនទៀតមិនមានចំណុចទូច្រើនទៀតប៉ុន្តែ Không ai tiền khởi tên như tên.
This is, like you started off by saying this conference. It's not a conference. It's a statutory meeting. According to the convention, the World Heritage Committee, which is the governing body for the implementation of the World Heritage Convention, has to meet annually to look at its business, which includes obviously the nominations, which has been the subject of discussion here, the state of conservation of sites, various reports from the Secretariat, advisory bodies, Category 2 centers, activities undertaken in different regions, the financial and administrative matters. So there is a certain agenda, which is almost a fixed agenda before the committee, which it has to consider at its annual meetings and adopt decisions, which have to be then followed up. The politicization issue that you bring in your question is an aspect that has been sort of attracting attention over the past few years. I would not call it politicization, but the fact that this is an intergovernmental treaty, governments come together to sign the World Heritage Convention, and it is governments who are involved in the implementation of the convention. So when interests come into play, different interests of different states parties to the convention come into play, we tend to refer to it as politicization, but that's perhaps not the right word. So obviously people speak with certain interests in mind, and where decisions relating to state of conservation are concerned, there are different viewpoints that are expressed. So that is the reason maybe why you are getting the impression that this is there's a growing politicization of the decision-making process. But I would hesitate to sort of make that judgment and say that it is becoming an increasingly political process. Obviously, there are some cases which the chairperson referred to, which may have that overtones of a political process, but generally not. Thank you.
Myself, I did visit many property sites, World Heritage site and National Heritage site in China. Few weeks ago, I just came back from the tourist city, Xi'an. You see the 8 million people city with, I think, a lot of national heritage sites and World Heritage site. We have the terracotta there, that means the ceramic soldier. Yeah. And I noticed that through the different visits, I noticed that the Chinese government did give very high consideration to heritage. You see, both national and World Heritage. I think I like to raise like an example. I did visit one site that represents the site of the biggest royal palace of China. You see, belonging to the dynasty in the king called Li Xiuming. Yeah, they explained to me. I think I can keep in mind because very recently I visited the site. What was in my impression, you see, according to the conservator explaining to me, the Chinese government spent $2 billion to only resettle the house, 100,000 house from the site. And they did cooperate very well with Ecomos, they told me, Ecomos. You see, so they cannot build up the new temple, the new palace, because it is not the authenticity or integrity of the site. They only clear up the site, you see, and put the funds to say that there is the former site of the royal palace that is the biggest in China. You see, I thought of how did they spend $2 billion? Because in Angkor we succeed to raise $250 million, and we said that there is a big budget already. And I asked them, well, after that they told me this year, 2012, the sum up of the statistics of last year. 2012 they got 9 million tourists to visit the site. You see, 9 million tourists to visit the site. And the terracotta, the ceramic soldier, they told me about 10 million visitors to the site. And one visitor, whether a foreigner or Chinese, have to buy a ticket of 25 US dollars. So you can imagine the revenue back to the heritage. And there is only 1 year. And there is only a ticket, the revenue from the ticket. You see, so if we think about revenue from the tourism, comprehensive tourism, it should be very big, you see. That's why I can see that 45 sites. Italy there is 49, yeah? Italy, recently, I think I heard that yesterday it was the 49 sites. So in China has 49 sites, you see, 45 sites. But the preservation, I highly appreciate to see this effort of preservation that I did see in China. I feel that the Chinese government consider culture and heritage as also a means to go up to build the country. So China, they got the good growth in the economy, good 7 to 8% GDP growth. So economy is booming. But parallelly, you see, they try to go through the culture also. You see, to go through civilization, culture, and heritage. You see, to bring China up. So this is my impression. Like the issue of Prairie Hill Temple, you see, we always speak about culture and heritage, how to preserve, how to restore. So we have to speak about politics. If you have a boundary issue, we go to the International Court of Justice. We did not ask UNESCO, we did not ask World Heritage Committee to solve the boundary issue. You see, we also discuss about how to preserve, how to restore. I think these are the issue. Now, you see, we will restore the temple of Prairie Hill. Yes. And you said that if we have, the committee has the political view to get involved in politics, you see, I think I can confirm to you, there is not the duty or the mission of the World Heritage Committee. We try to, I think, bring the issue to technical, like the session energy. We can discuss how to export the export from the Australia, from like France, like Japan, like India. The previous export to present to the session that we use this technique. We restored in 2003 on the Kaprum temple. If we have to cut the tree to take the tree out, or we have to maintain the tree. So the expert of India make presentation. The expert from other countries gave more ideas. We should take up the tree, we should do like this. So how to prevent the temple from cutting, it will become bigger. I think these are the issue the committee make presentation. Try to ask everybody to concentrate on the technical issue, political issue, and to avoid to speak about politics in the World Heritage Committee. If you speak about politics, then you have 3 countries together, you will have conflict, very strong conflict. But if you speak about technical, like in Angkor, we have about 20 countries, we have 100 of experts, but we never have conflict, we never have confrontation. We can go smoothly, we can harmonize every meeting, you see. So I think these are the philosophy, not getting involved in politics. Otherwise, these are the job of Security Council. These are the job of International Court of Justice. Yeah. For example, the issue you speak about Syria, you see, Mali, Timbuktu or Aleppo. What we can do, you see, only we discuss how to preserve this heritage. you see, during the conflict. And recently, you know, the Security Council include the issue of protection, heritage protection, into the mandate of Security Council. But this only protection from the war, from armed conflict, not protection in terms of technique, in terms of archaeology. Yes. So the protection from the armed conflict, maybe Security Council in the future will also get involved. And we have the 1972 convention, that is our convention. Speaking on technical, we have ECOMOS, helping, we have IUCN, we have ICROM, archaeologist, architect, engineer, historian, come together to work. So protection by Security Council, because we already mandate of Security Council, how to prevent military conflict or the military combat to come to the temple. We have also the Convention of 1954, Protocol number 1, Protocol number 2. Protocol number 2, we, as a National Assembly, just ratified a few weeks ago. This is a strong protocol. You see, how to protect the, I think, heritage when we have war or we have armed conflict. So I think we speak about protection one for say. We speak about protection special. Yes, I think these are the term of the 1954, and I think there is another style of discussion, another item of discussion, but for us we concentrate on technical. So I think please don't think the involvement of the Committee, Convention 1972, you see, to get involved in politics.